All right, so I feel we need to talk a little bit before we get into the main title of what this episode is about. We were at 2 coast-to-coast resorts, Spring Lake RV Resort near Halstead, Kansas, and Lynn Valley Lakes, and that wasn't really near anything.
No, it really wasn't.
Both were coast to coast. However, Spring Lake RV is open to the public.
Yeah.
And it's $32 a night. And then Halstead, then the Lynn Valley Lake is actually, you have to be an owner in the community.
Yeah. It's actually a whole community. There are actual homes there.
It's
some
crazy,
that are absolutely beautiful.
Right.
I mean, stunning
and
on this
we're
lake.
We're going to get into that. So realize that the one you can get into, the other one you have to be a member or coast to coast to be able to stay there.
And it's also like 70 to 80 miles away from anything.
Yeah, it's far. Well, we're going to get into that in the video. But anyways, I just want to give you a rundown of what this video is about. I will have, you will have seen down below, if you want to jump to one or the other, the time frame of where you need to go if you want to skip the first one and jump to the second one. But other than that, we'll get into it right after this. Well, we arrived, 2-hour drive, got out of Dodge. We're at the Spring Lake RV Park. This is a coast to coast, and it's referred to as a classic coast to coast. We don't really have anybody next to us, which is kind of cool. We got a really big space. We're gonna head to the clubhouse right now. They have a swimming pool, horseshoes, a number of other facilities. It's kind of nice and quiet. We are about 3 miles from Halstead and 6 miles to Burton and 30 miles to Wichita. So we're due south of Wichita. Pool is in the sun, unfortunately. This is the clubhouse coming up on my left. Pool closes at dusk. They do have events out here every weekend, I should say. But we're not going to be here for the weekend. Too bad. That's sad. So there's a pond out there. Pond straight into here. And a big one off to my left. Let's see what we got in the clubhouse. Oh, are we locked? I guess the clubhouse is closed. Now, according to what Don was reading, they do boast being the largest RV campground in the state of Kansas, but because it is coast to coast, it's not costing us, well, it's costing us $20 for resort fees. So not 100% sure what that means. Oh jeez, they say this is sewage ponds. That's sick. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that, but they do have a couple of different fishing ponds. This is the big one right in front of me. Now for fishing, it's similar to the other coast to coast we're at. Because it is private property, you don't need an actual Kansas state fishing license, but you pay them $4. They give you a wristband and it's good for 24 hours. So basically, yeah, fishing license for private use, $4 a day. I guess that's not bad. Now I did see on the map there is a fish cleaning area on the other side of this pond next to the main office check-in area. I just realized these are campsites here as well. Looks like it's just water and electric only though. Yeah, imagine that cabin. That's your view right here. But it's a nice place. The people who run it are really super nice. And it's just, I think if we were here under better weather conditions, we'd probably be really excited about it. But yeah, this has been a little tough. We've been kind of stuck inside right at the moment. There's a wind blowing and that actually felt pretty good. So last day at Spring Lakes. We are going to be pulling out here in a little bit. But yeah, we did not go anywhere, so there's no real video. So I think what's going to happen with this video is we're going to wind up doing a review of 2 more coast to coast. This was a coast to coast classic. We're going to a coast to coast deluxe next. And to be honest, not a bad place. A lot of giant mosquitoes, and I don't know if they're chiggers or what, but something kind of bit us up a bit. But beautiful park. I mean, it's the ponds, the geese, the Wi-Fi, however. Let's talk about Wi-Fi. Okay, so I went kind of behind the rig here to hopefully use as a wind block. So the Wi-Fi, let's get back to Wi-Fi. Basically what's happening is we're able to stream some. It's intermittent. It shuts off, it turns on. It's not steady. There's a lot of different Wi-Fi hotspots, but they're not relays. It's just their individual Wi-Fi spots around the park. The problem that we're having, well, there's no uploading, period. Just could not upload. But I could basically check things, emails, get on Google. I mean, all sorts of stuff like that I could do on my Google Drive. But everything but uploading. So I got a couple videos I need to get uploaded, hopefully next stop. So I did have a little bit of a cardio workout yesterday. We had gusts of winds gusting at over 50 miles an hour. We had clouds that looked like they were blowing in. All of a sudden plus over 100-degree weather, and then suddenly the weather radio goes off. So we're expecting the worst because we are in Tornado Alley after all, middle of Kansas. And it's only a test, so that was the good thing, but definitely got the heart pumping. So I didn't have to do my cardio for the day. Anyways, that's it. We're gonna sign out here and pick it up on the other side. We're gonna be on the east side of Kansas, still in Tornado Alley, not far from Kansas City. And I hear they're getting some warnings there, so a little concerned about that one, but we'll see where we're at. Anyways, catch you on the next side. This is the Lynn Lakes RV campground. This is a coast to coast. It's considered deluxe. I'm gonna have to look up to see what does coast to coast consider deluxe versus classic versus premier. That has been my biggest question. This is actually a very beautiful campground area. We got some great shade trees. Got my flag up. I don't know what it's going to be like this weekend. We're coming into Father's Day weekend, but we don't have a lot of people in this area. This side is the 50 amp. The other side way down there is 30 amp. They have these big spaces. It was a little bit difficult to find the place because there's no real clear markings, but we did find the check-in building. It's next to the pool, and that's up toward the road. Got to drive back a ways to get to the campground. Everything okay? Now there's a fire pit. So I can talk about Wi-Fi already. If you're willing to pay, you have Wi-Fi. If you're not willing to pay, there is no Wi-Fi. But we are quite a ways away from anything. There is a gas station probably about 3 miles away, but most everything is about 15 to 16 miles away. So this really isn't close to things. Now, amenities, they do have a pool. It looked nice. They have some sport courts. They've got this huge Frisbee golf area. Just massive. There's supposed to be a lake out here somewhere. We're going to drive around and see if we can't find the lake. Saturday morning, there's a farmer's market by the main office. And sometime Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, I need to find out what time, but there is a concert and car show. All right, so to finish this part up really quick, this is really spread out. So you can't just walk to everything in this campground. It is, I mean, it's huge. Acreage, it is huge. I'll probably put the camera on in the car and drive around so you can see. But the pool is probably a mile or more back up the road to get to the pool. Yeah, we'll be here for a week. We might make it into Kansas City, might take a train, might take a plane going to Kansas City. We'll be there just the same. Okay, that was bad. All right. Anyways, Sierra and I out here just kind of chilling. Another interesting thing that I found out about this place, it is a full-on resort. So you have property that you can buy into it as a house, obviously coast to coast. But there's a lot of houses on this property, and it's not just like park model homes. Okay, so we've got a boat ramp, clubhouse, swimming pool, bathhouse, golf course, campgrounds, community center. So I probably should have gone the other way. The boat ramp was the other way, so let's turn around here and see the boat ramp. We only have a day left. We're leaving tomorrow morning at some point. The last few words for this RV park. They don't really keep up on the camping area. I guess word's out that these sites are not very even. There's only been a couple of people here for the same amount of time we've been here, and they could be here longer term. But when you see it, I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sites between us and them. They're across the way, but they have one between them. I think we've got 5 more going down this way. And the reason why I say that I don't think they keep up on things is we got here, we almost took the very first spot at the end down that way. There was a really cool cement table and bench seat type things that are down there. In fact, yeah, you can see the bench seats right there. I didn't realize you could see it from here. The problem is that there was a styrofoam cup sitting on the table. That wasn't the problem, but there was a styrofoam cup sitting on the table. But nobody came to clean up any of the sites after people had left. That styrofoam cup had been there when we got here, and to be honest, because of the storm we had last night, it got blown off the table. It's laying on the ground. I never bothered to pick it up because I just wanted to see if there was anybody who was going to come to take care of it. No one did. No one's been out here to mow. We've been here for a solid week, so they don't mow. There's fire pits that are dirty, still have stuff in it. I have not seen any maintenance personnel come to work on the park. In fact, our fire pit has been dirty ever since we got here. We never used it, but there's been burnt coals in there. And yeah, so I don't know how they take care of this place. So once again, how do they judge these as for what they are? What's a deluxe? What's a premier? What's a classic? It's just hard to tell. You have to drive to everything, even within the park. We're roughly a mile from the pool and the laundry. We're about a half mile from the camp store. We're about a couple miles to the lake. A lot of the sports courts are way the heck and gone. We are about 45 to 50 miles from the nearest substantial town. There's a little town about 10 to 15 miles away, but they don't really have the amenities you would need if you had to go to the market or whatever. So you figure anywhere you go here, you're going to be spending about 90 to 100 mile round trip to get there and back. So that's judge for yourself. Is this really worth it? I hate to say it, when it comes to coast, we may not be spending anything to stay here, but we're spending probably a few $100 if we're going to do more than one excursion, 2 excursions, 3 excursions. That's $150 in fuel at the moment with the high fuel prices we're facing. So hard to say where you want to draw that line, but it is, I mean, it's beautiful. We got the trees and you get fireflies out at night. I'm hoping to stick my camera out the door tonight to catch the fireflies so you can see those. I don't know if I could give it a total approval rating because of the fact that you have so many problems within, unless you just want to sit and do absolutely nothing. Drive to the lake and do something at the lake, then it might be worth it. But if you're not into that, then if you want to sightsee, this is not the place to go. But then again, sometimes some people just want to get out of the city and sit and listen to the birds, this is a good place to do that. The one thing I did not mention, we have a dirt road here. There's a dirt road on the other side of those trees, and we have this dirt road back here. The fact is, it just rains, so there's no dust being kicked up. But a lot of the locals that live here don't abide by the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, and they come like speeding through, and they kick up a ton of dust. My truck has layers of dust and dirt all over it from the cars that have gone by this last week. Same with the back end of the rig, just a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. So that's kind of the final word on this. Anyways, hope this helped out in your planning. We will do, like I said, I keep saying this, we're going to be doing a final recap on Coast to Coast and RPI at the end of summer. Right now I'm kind of questioning, I may rethink how we do this. We have a few more Coast to Coast to stay at. I don't believe I have any more RPIs, but I'll kind of do a overview of that down the road. So that will be it for this review. Next place we're going to be staying is at Marceline, not Coast to Coast or RPI, but it is a fairly new campground right in the town of Marceline. So it looks like we're going to be about maybe 4 blocks from the museum, 5 or 6 blocks to the downtown area. Don't know if we're going to walk it or just kind of find a nice place to park, but it's close either way you look at it, so we're not going to be burning a lot of fuel getting around. So next stop tomorrow morning, Marceline, Missouri.
Yeah. Well, I hope this gave you a good rundown of what these 2 Kansas campgrounds are all about. So if you're taking notes and keeping score about Coast to Coast, 2 more down and quite a few more to go.
Yes.
And until then, make sure that you hit that subscription button.
And then hit that bell and let you know when we post every Sunday at
2. And thumbs up for good measure.
And Facebook.
And eventually the website.
I have done some Instagram,
yeah,
so I'm getting back there.
Anyways, till next time, safe travels.
Take care, Cilantro.